Hello, hello, welcome in everyone. Hello, Sun. Hello, LJ. Hello, Zar. Welcome. LJ says stamps. I would appreciate if people actually answered the prompts on the daily stamp and not just said stamp. I would like to know what made you happy today if you came in. You know, that's the whole point, is to talk about our day and come here and relax, you know? Zar says, learned some interesting lore about an older anime today, but no time to explain. Spoilers, so bye. I mean, we usually do like a little bit of just chatting before we start the game, and usually I'll tell you when I'm about to start the game. We don't head into the game right away. You're welcome to stay. But okay, that's fine too. Sun says, my experience of happiness today can't really be attributed to anything. I've just felt it, like a very positive ghost has just latched onto me. Oh, that's really sweet. I'm glad that you've been feeling happy today, Sun. I have a lot to be grateful for the past 2 days because I didn't stream yesterday. Yesterday I went to dinner with my other best friend who she's not really online ever, but she'll drop in to stream sometimes. She made some beef stew and requested that I drop by Sprouts to get like these fruit riots, like they're like frozen fruits, I guess, coated with sour powder. So I got her that, drove over with Hermes, and we had some beef stew. We watched on Netflix, we watched the Menendez brothers trial, like the dramatization, I guess, of that. It's pretty interesting. And yeah, the beef stew was really good. She baked some cookies after and had like 2 cookies before I headed home. And then I was really happy, followed by being really sad, because I was like, oh, you know, I'm just gonna boot up Jump King. I'm just gonna play a little bit. And while I wasn't recording, I got a faster time than I have right now. So I have the screenshot of the fast time, but obviously to get my time verified I need a recording. So no, we don't have that. So, you know, I guess I'll just have to try it again, cuz you know, if it's not recorded, it didn't happen. So I will probably the next time I boot Jump King up just to play for fun, I think I'll just have a recording going on the side. At least you know you can do it. That's true. At least I know I can do it. That is something. But yeah, so that was yesterday. And then today was an okay day. It was like, oh my gosh. So apparently someone booked me for like a 7 a.m. meeting. And they booked it like in the freaking early hours. Of like, they booked it 3 hours before 7 a.m., which was like 4 in the morning for me, right? So when I went to bed, I did not see the meeting invite, woke up when I was supposed to for work, logged in at 8 a.m., and then they're like, Princess, you're missing the meeting. And I was like, who, like, when was this scheduled? Like, why are we not expecting me to, like, actually, you're expecting me to check my email in the middle of the night? Like, hello? So that was stupid. Made it through the day, and then, okay, so this is, like, the one thing that made me happy today. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Hold on, I need to fix my chair. Okay, sorry. My chair was slipping. The chair cushion was slipping. So, I checked my emails, and apparently someone had reached out to me regarding a custom audio. I guess they had like found me through my ASMR YouTube, and they emailed me, and they were like, hey, you know, do you do custom audios? And I was like, I have seen people like list, hi Action, welcome in. I have seen people list custom audios as a, you know, service or a commission that they do. And I always thought, I was like, oh, like no one would pay me to do that, surely. Like, I already put stuff out for free. There's no there's no reason why anyone would pay you know, me to read their script. Because I have so many different scripts available. And I do have on my like highest Patreon tier the ability for a custom audio request, but obviously no one has purchased my highest audio tier or my highest Patreon tier, so I have not had to create a custom audio. Had pizza from Costco today. Delicious! I hope that brought you a lot of joy. I love Costco pizza. But yeah, so I emailed them back and I was like, hey, you know, we can either do through, you know, the Patreon tier, or we can do, I guess I can make like a one-time coffee purchase and I'll put it up on my shop and you'll be able to purchase that, send me the script, let me check it over, make sure that I'm comfortable with it, because I only do like safe for work, you know? Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal stream with Princess? No way. Hi Duo, welcome in. Is there a length limit? You're not going to get roped into reading an entire audiobook, are you? I'm not. I do have on my Patreon description that the audio cannot be more than 3,000 words. So I'm capping it at that. Fan, hello, welcome in. How are you? Hello, hello. I am capping the script at 3,000 words. That is approximately 25 minutes to 30 minutes of speaking or like edited audio length. So I was like, okay, that, I feel like that is okay, because I I priced that at $50 US, 50 US. So I was like, you know, if this price is okay for you and you're okay with paying that much, let me look over your script and I will create something on Coffee for you so that, you know, we can start this process. So in my research going through Coffee, I was like, oh my god, I need to set like a terms of service and stuff, and then I need to set up the listing for the commission. So I checked the script. It is safe for work. It's definitely something that I can voice. I feel comfortable voicing it. So I let them know, like, hey, just so you know, I will be working on the listing for you over the weekend. So please look forward to hearing from me soon while I get this set up. So I made fried rice that made certain happy. Ooh, what kind of fried rice? Doing good, suffering through re-clears right now. Oh, I hope re-clears go well, fan. Re-clears are always tough. We got to 0.3% earlier. I mean, you did it once, you could do it again. Sounds great. I'm so happy. Yeah, I'm very, very, like, did not expect anyone to want to pay me to perform their audio, but hey, you know, if you listen to my YouTube, surely you know what my audio sound like, so you know exactly what you're purchasing. You're gonna be a professional voice actor now? I mean, I have already been paid to record stuff, so I guess I am already considered if you consider a professional someone who receives money for doing a certain thing, then certainly yes, I, as of last year, December actually, I was paid to record something. My stamp isn't working on mobile. Oh no, Chrono, I'm sorry. I mean, just let me know, because I know you were here. Was ham fried rice with some personally selected seasonings. Ooh, delicious. Is Rizka taking commissions? Enva, hello, welcome in. Yeah, I'm talking about someone had reached out to me because they wanted me to read a custom script for them. And then I was like, should I open up custom audios? I guess I will. Had no idea about stamps. Hello, Cupid. Welcome in. Yes, if you missed a stamp too, you can redeem a makeup. Yes, so stamps, again, for those of you who don't know, I do this every year around the holidays where I will send out a holiday postcard if you have redeemed enough stamps during my November streams. I do have in the link there. The first link is an explanation of how the stamp rally goes, and then thank you for the resubscribe. And then the second link shows you basically a little report card of how many stamps you've redeemed and how many you may be missing. So obviously, if today is your first day, you will not see your name until after stream when I like update stuff, but yeah, it should be updated fairly soon. Let me put a feather. Thank you for the resubscribe. I appreciate you. Let's put this somewhere, I guess, in my hair. There we go. It's like a little hair clip. Thank you, Show. I appreciate that. Yet another side hustle. Look at this diva. Thank you for the 17 months, Show. I know, I'm just like, can I please just have money so that I can afford to live and stay here? Like, I would like to live here for a very long time. I want to die here in this house. In 14 hours, I will be in line at the airport being flagged by security. Hopefully not being flagged. Thank you for the resubscribe, LJ. Let me also add a feather. A little big. Okay, there we go. Let me add a little feather for you as well. Stick it right there. Thank you. Hello, Draw Curiosity. Gotta go, but just wanted to say hi. Hello. Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. I met Draw Curiosity. By the way, not an artist. Deceptive name. She streams. She does like educational streams. She is a scientist and has some very interesting content on YouTube. Like, I think one was like drinking milk, or pouring milk. Like you're pouring your milk wrong. But yeah, please go check her out. Can you see me now? I see you, Floppy. Got a free pen from a networking event. We do like free pens. I love free pens. The Rizka will make your heart grow 3 times bigger, so be careful. Drive-by stamp. Just happy to be home and that tomorrow's Friday. That's a good thing to be happy about. We take the small victories. No matter how many times you tell me I can't make up stamps from the future, I am stubborn. Random search. Literally last time I flew, a guy was like, you got random searched, and the trigger popped. So I got groped by airport security. Well, at least they could do is, I'm not gonna finish that thought. Gonna go snuggle Cernan, so listening there if the movie doesn't drown you out. No worries. Thank you so much for popping in and lurking for this stream. Have a good rest of your evening with Cernan, Tangri. My sister and I got sushi for lunch today. Ooh, what's your go-to sushi order? I am a big fan of like the baked scallop roll because those are always delicious. But if I'm going classic, I love yellowtail nigiri. I'm a huge like yellowtail fan, yeah. Surfing on a sound wave, swinging through the stars, take a left to your intestines, take your second right past Mars. It's a princess dream. Excuse me, Duo. What the heck did I just read? I do pour my milk wrong. I knew there had to be a better way. Stimp. Hello, welcome in Inside Out Ski. Hope everyone's been having a good Thursday. Yes, tomorrow is Friday. Hopefully it is... hopefully it goes well. I am trying to be a little bit more... I don't know. I already feel like okay, so you guys know, like, I'm kind of productive, but at the same time, I feel like I procrastinate in my productivity. Like, I'll sit at my desk, doom scrolling. I'll allow myself to doom scroll for like 30 minutes to an hour, and then I'm like, okay, gotta get to work. I feel like I need to find a way to stop doom scrolling because I feel like it would be so much more productive. Hello, welcome in. 33 months. Holy crap. Thank you for the resubscribe. All right, putting a feather in my hair forever. Thank you. Thank you. I'll put you... Oh, you know what? What if I put you near my nose? Okay, I'll put you on my forehead. Thank you ever for the resubscribe. It's the Magic School Bus song. My toddler nephew is obsessed right now. He didn't know there were old episodes. Oh god. Show says, I knew she wouldn't get the Magic School Bus reference. I'm a big fan of scallop and salmon sushi. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Have a headache now. Going to eat and drink tea and hope it goes away. If not, I'll be zzing and not chatting. No worries, Poppy. Please get some rest. Please make sure you, if you can, maybe take some acetaminophen or ibuprofen. Because, I don't know, one of those usually... I usually take ibuprofen, and it usually helps, but, you know. Chippy! Aloha! Welcome in! I just picked up MT! Let's go! Is MT in the car? Hello, MT! I just saw the coolest music performance of my life. It was a really cool contemporary jazz duo, drum and piano. Oh, interesting. But the drummer also had drum pads that triggered synths, and he had one song where he even played kalimba. Cool! Oh my god, that sounds incredible, Chippy. That sounds like it was really fun. I hope that, you know, you were inspired and that you do something with that inspiration. Zavara, welcome in. It was payday. You know, payday is always nice. Was it payday today for me? I don't know. I think I got paid last week, so that means payday is next week for me. I don't know. I'm really excited because this weekend, our friend, as you can see, Ever, said she picked him up. His name is MT. He lives very far away from us and calls into our D&D sessions every Friday, and it's the first time that he's visiting us for like a D&D thing. It is like our finale of this campaign that we've been playing for the past, like, I think year and a half, maybe 2 years, but like it also encompasses characters that we've been playing for like 3 or 4 years, and so it's really, really exciting. That's gonna be on Friday. We're gonna have hot pot, and then we're gonna do our D&D session, and then on Saturday we're gonna go out and do an escape room, and then we're gonna do probably some Korean barbecue or something. So I'm looking forward to the weekend. It's gonna be really fun. They are doing master classes tomorrow, so I'm gonna learn more. Oh, that's incredible. I hope you have such a fun time there, Chippy. Chippy, chippy, chappa, chappa, doobie, doobie, dappa, dappa. Show coming in with Chippy's theme song. But yeah, thank you guys so much for telling me about what made you happy today. It always makes me happy to read like the small things that you guys get up to doing. Even if like you saw, you know, a dog and it made you happy, like that would make me happy. Oh my god, I saw this really cute dog. I saw this really cute dog the other day when I was driving home, and it was so funny because Hermes was in the backseat, and when we drove past, he literally did like a double take and like looked back out the window behind the car. It was very cute. And then today I saw not so nice was I saw a really sad video of a dog that passed away, and then I was absolutely devastated and like went to go curl up on the couch with Hermes for like an hour after that, and like I took my work laptop with me so I could like laze around on the couch with him because I was so sad, and I was like, Hermes, you could never leave me. He sprawled out on his bed back there. All right. Short work day. We love short work days. Welcome in, Beetle Ian. Hello. Did you only work like the morning, or did you work the afternoon? Which was it? I feel like working the morning is better because then in the afternoon you have like all that time off that you could do with whatever, however you want. Only morning. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right. Okie dokie. Let us start. So if you don't want to be spoiled by the game, heads up. If you don't want to be spoiled by the game, we are starting the game right now. So click off, mute me, or whatever you need to do, because we're heading over, and I don't want you guys to get spoilies. All right, let's start. Thank you for the resubscribe, DQ unit. Welcome in. Let me put a little feather, oops, on my head there for that. Thank you, thank you. How are you? Welcome. Let's put you right there. Perfect. Yes, absolutely perfect. Okay. Thank you for the resubscribe. 19 months in a row. Wow, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's start this up. Where were we? Were we still doing the jury summation examination? No, we just finished the summation examination, I think. We finished the summation examination. Okay. Ah, the knight errant himself. Oh, have you been watching from the gallery, Mr. Sholmes? I've been on the edge of my seat the entire time. Courtroom trials are fascinating affairs, as a spectator at least. I'm glad you've been enjoying yourself. Also, I have no idea, like, how they're gonna be connecting, like, obviously, okay, so what have we learned? Real quick recap. While I, like, try to recombobulate myself. We've learned that Courtney Scythe is Courtney Stevens, who was the coroner who called the time of death and confirmed the death of the killer named the Professor. We also learned that I think it was that guy. What's his face? Enoch Drebber that saw he like stumbled upon the grave. I forgot what happened when he stumbled upon the grave. That the body was missing or something, maybe? I forgot. So perhaps the Professor is still alive? I don't know. We learned that there were 2 bird cages to help with the illusion that the bird cage was transported. One got damaged at the bottom, one got damaged head first. Obviously, the waxwork was a part of that whole situation to mislead people into thinking there was an actual body inside the bird cage. And because the coroner was a part of the forensic investigation team, she was able to, like, swap out the bodies or something. So I think that's what we know. We asked the wax lady to be a witness. Well, the prosecution did. Oh, okay, okay. And Madame Two Spells is coming. Got it, okay. I'm too tired to think of something witty. I'll just say I'm happy to be at a princess stream. Oh, DQ, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Welcome in. We are glad to have you. You know, after work today, I was so busy trying to set up my coffee terms and conditions, I forgot to eat dinner. I should be okay for a little bit. And then if I get too hungry, I'll let you guys know, and then I'll go run and heat up some dinner or something. I got way too excited. I was like, I gotta set everything up. Okay, I think that is it for our recap, as far as I remember. Thank you, Sho, for providing that point, because I actually forgot. Like, 100% I forgot. I forgot why we were adjourning for a break. Oh, and also another thing, starting next week on Tuesday, I will not be by myself playing this game. I have invited Mizu to help me voice the characters, because he had expressed interest in that during our little jump-a-thon. And I reached out to him and asked him if he would be available during, like, the work week, and he said on the work weeks it's from this time to this time. So I'll let you guys know on the schedule. You'll see it next week that Mizu will be a part of the Great Ace Attorney stream. So I hope that you know, y'all can welcome him in and hang out. We'll be doing some silly funny voices, I'm sure. Well, you've already heard all of my silly funny voices, so you'll hear some of, I guess, Mizu's silly funny voices. I'm thankful for not having to voice multiple characters, or not having to voice as many characters as I currently do. So, we'll see. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
I have to ask. What on earth is going on? It makes no sense. What's this professor business all about? He doesn't look like any professor I've ever met before. Who even is he?
Of course. You were in Germany already 10 years ago. Yes, the professor. Fourth stamp, Cloudy. I mean, I addressed this with LJ too. I would like people to actually tell me what they're happy about during their day. I know the stamps bring people happiness, but I would like to actually hear what made you happy today. That is the point of these of these redeems. If you're gonna drive by stamp, at least just say one thing. I don't know. It's something small that I'm asking you to do, please. I beg of you. Spaghetti for Din Din. Ooh. Best I got for today? Honestly, better than just saying stamp. I appreciate that. What kind of spaghetti did you eat? Is it like a red sauce spaghetti? Did you get like, you know, pesto, cream sauce? Did you like meatballs? I think I got the best waffles today. Ooh, what kind of waffles? How were they seasoned? Oh, that's a weird word to say for waffles. How were they topped, you know? Marinara. Okay. Simple, delicious. You know, oh my god. My friend Miku, every time we eat pasta at Ever's, he calls it Ever's famous spaghetti. And it's literally, she literally just boils pasta noodles, and we use the Rao's marinara sauce, or like Rao's pasta sauce. That's it. That's all she does. And he like calls it Ever's famous spaghetti. And it's like, she barely does anything, but it's so good. Just standard, didn't defrost the meat, so we went without. Oh, okay. I mean, still sounds delicious. Pasta is always good. Coffee waffles with chocolate. Ooh, that sounds delicious. Thank you for sharing. Did you have it topped with whipped cream? Eating anything with a lot of whipped cream is like my favorite thing. She adds her love. It's true, she does add her love. Maybe instead of dinner, I could eat the last slice of pumpkin pie. I'm gonna do it. Sorry guys. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna BRB. I'm gonna go grab some pumpkin pie and whipped cream. I will be right back. Don't leave. Don't leave. I'll be back. BRB. Oh, I'm here. That was the last of my... Oh, Hermie! Put your hand right where I put my hand. I smacked you. Okay. Whew, okay. We got the slice of pie. I'm sad. Costco pumpkin pie is surprisingly delicious. For like minimal effort, and it was actually very cheap. I got 4 slices of very huge pumpkin pie for $3. Honestly, super worth. Me neither, unless it's on chocolate satin pie. What's a chocolate satin pie? Okay, I'm gonna spray the whipped cream right now. Bear with me here. Hermes is like looking in anticipation because he knows I give him like the little bits of whipped cream at the end. Okay, here you go. Alright, you licking. You licking the whipped cream. Yeah? Is that yummy? Yeah, that's it. That's all you get. I'm sorry, bud. No more. No more for dog! This is for human. Partner made bomb dinner that I'm currently enjoying. Ooh, what kind of dinner? Tell us about... Go to your bed. Tell us about the dinner that you're eating. While I reset myself. Bombs are tasty. I mean, some bombs are tasty, I guess. Yes, the professor. When I discovered he was the one who had been abducted, a sense of foreboding stirred within me. But who knew the monster would come knocking at your door? My heartfelt sympathies! As it turns out, Lord Van Zeeks is even more intimately tied to this case than any of us realized, isn't he? Yes, how true. Sorry, I'm eating the pie right now. His great friend from university in the dock. And now a waxwork of the killer who took his esteemed brother's life makes an appearance too. I imagine even the shrewd Mr. Reaper failed to foresee that kick in the teeth. An extraordinary move on your part, my dear fellow, to throw that in front of the man. You make it sound deliberate. Just chicken and rice, but I love the way he seasoned it. Ooh, how did he season the chicken and rice? Please share with us. Salt, pepper, onion, garlic, thyme, and paprika. Ooh, okay. Wait, question. How was the chicken prepared? Was it like pan-seared or was it grilled? Because that also adds like another layer of like complexity. Pan-seared, still delicious. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the eating noises. My mouth is full of pie. I can't help feeling that this professor case is really very puzzling. Oh, yes? In what particular manner? Well, there's Mr. Drebber, Dr. Scythe, and Lord Van Zeeks. It seems that everybody in this trial has a link to the case somehow.
Yes. In fact, I alone am not a member of the set. No, that leaves me as an empty set, all alone with no intersection to any other.
Excuse me. Oh, it's the doctor. Dr. Scythe! Ah. Dr. Courtney Scythe, née Stevens. Good day to you. Hello, Sholmes. That was very shrewd of you. What in particular, pray? You requested that 10-year-old autopsy report from Gregson, didn't you? Why would you assume such a thing? Because Gregson told me. Oh, this pie is so good, you guys. It's so good. To think, it's been 10 years. 10 years in the laboratory, wielding my scalpel. I smell nothing. I smell of nothing but corpses and disinfectant. A policeman on the jury had a lot to say about you, as it happens, Dr. Scythe. And I've accused you of being complicit in what happened. I'm hoping that you'll take the stand and tell the truth about what really happened. That certainly won't be possible. What do you mean you can't tell the truth? Lord Van Zeeks won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it. Lord Strongheart? Oh, interesting. The Pandora's box you were warned about is the professor case. But please, don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me. But attempting to hide from the truth, that's cowardice. I've always fought crime in the way that I see fit. I have no regrets. None at all. And that's all I came here to say. So, good day to you. If she's not gonna take the stand, then how are we gonna clear up how the body was switched? Because the waxwork body was clearly the body that, like, crashed into the crystal tower, right? Because of the glass that we saw. She mentioned it too. This Pandora's box. Whatever does it all mean? There's really no cause for concern. I assure you, when the trial resumes, the meaning will become all too apparent, whether you'd like it to or not. Huh? Now then, I believe it's almost time. I must make my way back to the public gallery. The edge of my seat awaits. I think maybe you're enjoying yourself a little too much. Ah, yes, one word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone. Interesting. To the bitter end, you understand. Do not falter, whatever may come to pass. All right, I understand. Thank you. Good, I shall make myself scarce then. I purchased a bar of caramel earlier, so I shall be gnawing on that as you gnaw away at the truth. Sholmes Caramel is the name of this caramel bar. What did that warning from Mr. Sholmes really mean, I wonder? Especially about whatever may come to pass. Interesting. It's time for the final chapter then. I'm determined to find the truth. No matter what. For $6, pumpkin pie is so worth it. It's so good. Especially with all the whipped cream. Delicious. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready and able to continue? The prosecution is ready, my lord. Yes, my lord. The defense is also ready. As the court is aware, the case under our scrutiny began with a damaging incident at the Great Exhibition. Yet we now find ourselves embroiled in the details of a convicted felon who was sent to the gallows a decade ago. This trial has certainly defied all expectation. As seems to be the fate of all trials in which this Nipponese is involved, my lord. So then, let us begin our exploration of the defense's assertion that the waxwork was cardinally involved in this matter. Lord Van Zeeks. My lord. Are we still awaiting the arrival of Madame Tuspels? Not at all. She is in the antechamber as we speak and ready to be summoned. Very well. Bring in the witness. At once, my lord. Sorry. I put food in my mouth. Bailiff! Show Madame 2 spells to the stand! Things are about to become a lot more intense. If Drebber is responsible, as I'm sure he is, it means he must have had an accomplice in Dr. Scythe. And what connects the pair of them is the waxwork. Yes, the model of the professor. That's the key to the link between these otherwise unrelated individuals. It's a tenuous link, admittedly, but at present it's all we have to go on. Wow, look at her working away. State your name and occupation for the court, please. My name. Wait, how did I do her voice again? I forgot. How do I do like a fake French accent? I don't think I'd be very good at it. My name is Madame Esmeralda 2 Spells. I am a waxwork artisan and the proprietress of Madame 2 Spells Museum of Waxwork. You will have to pardon me for working as I testify. My new exhibit must open very soon. Is that Sholmes? Is that a head shot of Sholmes? Oh, so he finally gets a statue, does he? Now there are 2 of them in the world. It is Sholmes. That's so funny. Oh my. What expression is she carving onto that face? A number of days ago, a particular waxwork model was stolen from your museum. Can you confirm this? Oui, that is true. At first, we believed it had been kidnapped. A waxwork model? Kidnapped? Yes, my lord. There was a demand for ransom money left behind by the culprit. However, according to what I have just been told outside the courtroom, that was not the true reason. I understand it was utilized as a substitute for the body of a murder victim. At present, that is no more conjecture proposed by the defense. This is the victim of the case in question, Mr. Odie Asman. But of course I know him well. He is a part of my odious personages? Exhibit. I detest to say what is evident, but Mr. Asman does not resemble the professor at all. Yes, but perhaps their faces are very similar. Are you suggesting that we should see now the demasked visage of the professor? I have here the key, but it is strictly forbidden to open the... Well, are you saying that they actually got the face of the professor and then, like, she was able to craft the waxwork? Why wouldn't they just make a blank face? That doesn't make any sense. If they wanted, to protect the identity of... Why would they want to protect the identity of a fucking murderer, though? This is absurd! Pardon? I don't know what face you've carved onto your fancy figure beneath that mask. But clearly, it won't be that of the actual killer. Oh, okay, yeah, this is the thing. Indeed, the man's identity was never made public, after all. The trial took place in a closed court. The proceedings were strictly confidential. The condemned man was summarily executed. His identity remains a closely guarded national secret. There is no possible way that a repository of tawdry exhibits could get its hands on that information. Quel dommage. It would seem you are unaware of the 2 Spells principles. What principles? The family 2 Spells has always prided itself on sculpting its models à la perfection. Every detail, including the visage, is fashioned with complete fidelity. Et voila, our principles. There is a well-known legend about the Two-Spells waxworks from the time of the French Revolution. A member of the Two-Spells family is said to have made a waxwork of the queen who was executed. Oui, that is true. It was a century ago now. I believe the queen's face was carved in the minutes following her death, actually at the guillotine site. You are correct. The model is on display still today in the House of Horrors. We Two-Spells will stop at nothing to obtain a faithful replica of our subjects. Dear me, the somewhat disturbing tenacity of purpose. It is the only way to obtain a truly lifelike representation of the subject. And it has been my family's secret for generations. Do you mean to say that beneath that mask? Oui, the true visage of the killer is there. This is ludicrous. It is out of the question! The professor spread terror throughout Great Britain. As a result, the Madame Two-Spells special exhibit remains extremely popular even today. The killer, emerging from his own grave, it is a sight to behold. You should come. I think, Madame, it would be beneficial to hear your formal testimony on this matter. You will explain every detail of this macabre model and your personal involvement in its creation. With pleasure. Sorry, I'm eating right now. I'm sorry. Voice acting with bites of pie is, like, certainly an experience. A special exhibit in the House of Horrors is based on a rumor that shocked society in London. An impression of the visage was taken directly from the corpse in accordance with Two-Spells family principles. Oh, and enlisted the aid of the gravedigger and created a mold for the head in the cemetery just before the interment. I hid myself until he gave me a signal. I was there for a very long time that night. As dawn approached, I was very worried that I could be discovered. The gravedigger? The man sanctioned this? Oh, so it must have been Enoch Drebber that was the gravedigger? Because he was the one, right? Okay. Sorry. I just finished the slice of pie. Let me drink some water. Okay, we're ready. I'm sorry. We're back. Back to normal. Okay. Let's go. Oui, I will do all that is necessary to achieve the true resemblance my family is celebrated for. Nobody else knew. Only the gravedigger. What harm did it do, huh? So you truly saw it. The face of that monster! Naturally, I was aware at the time that his identity was a secret, but Two-Spells would not be Two-Spells if we did not insist on absolute fidelity to our sculptures. I don't believe this. I myself have seen the special exhibit at your museum, Madame. A truly blood-curdling scene in which the murderer is emerging from his own grave. The scene it depicts was the subject of many rumors in London 10 years ago. I have here a newspaper from the time. The special exhibit was based upon the picture in this article. It was the most detailed account of what happened as reported by the eyewitnesses who saw it. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Wait, okay. So Dr. Courtney Stevens had declared the time of death. However, later Enoch Drebber came in and was the gravedigger, and the body, like the criminal, came back to life? Is that what happened? 10-year-old article has been entered into the court record. Man rises from the grave. It's too absurd for words. The public enjoy absurdity, monsieur. That is why I have reproduced the scene as carefully as possible in my museum. And it's a waxwork from that exhibit that was stolen some days before the incident at the Great Exhibition, wasn't it? That is correct. The professor you see here before you. Most puzzling. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. This waxwork links Drebber to Dr. Scythe. There has to be some reason for that, which hasn't yet come to light. But I'll find it. I'll get to the bottom of what really happened. I'll prove that Dr. Scythe and Dr. Drebber were in on this crime together. Okay, so let's take a look at that article. Police sirens. Something rises from the grave. Executed criminal returns in the dead of night at local cemetery. Sorry if you can hear the siren. At Lowgate Cemetery, just behind the prison, on the night of that foul demon's execution, the newly interred professor forced off his grave cover as he clawed free of the earth. The young man who witnessed this scene was on the verge of raising a shriek when, in the next second, a gunshot rang out suddenly from behind. The bullet pierced the resurrected man's chest, whose breath then stilled once more. Oh, okay, so the body was shot. The youth then finally released the scream he had been holding and ran for his life. The university student who experienced this shocking event is Mr. Enoch Drebber, a disciple of science at the University of London and a resident of its student dorms. Mr. Drebber's dreadful encounter. Oh, Asmin is the signature. Do you guys see this? It's O. Asmin. Did he draw this? My cat was very brave today with both the viola and the vacuum. Your cat's scared of the viola? Oh my god, Zonkenman. I have a little clip of Hermes whining or like singing along to my playing. I will send it to you. It is the cutest thing ever. Who isn't scared of the viola, but yeah, she is for some reason. That's so funny. Who isn't scared of the viola? I know. Every time Yam comes over, I'm just like, oh, Yam, please, no. Youths nowadays, says Duo. Not when my fiance plays, I'm offended. Oh, your fiance also plays viola? That's cute. Okay, so we were able to read that. Hello, welcome in, Raider. Tsuki, how are you? Welcome in. Hot Springs Raid, welcome in, Raiders. My name is Princess. I'm a variety VTuber here on Twitch. Today I am playing some actual variety games. I'm playing Great Ace Attorney Resolve. It is the second game in the series, so be aware of spoilers. We're not gonna do anything right now, so don't be worried. Tsuki, how are you? Welcome in, Tsuki, Hellkaiser, Kato, the Pot Kato. You have a virus. Hello, welcome in. Hello, Jartrana. Welcome. Sniper on the Sticks. Hello. Yes, if you guys don't know, I love Jump King. I recently got placed on 90th place in speed running for the first map. I was a little bit mad. Yesterday I was playing just for funsies. And I got an even better time, but I wasn't recording because I was just playing off stream, you know? Because I do that with Jump King. And I got a better time and then I took a picture of it, but because the time I think is under like 10 minutes, I have to submit a video with that and wasn't recording. So we gotta, you know, actually try doing that again, recorded next time. But yeah, so your girl, I can say, is top 90 globally in Jump King speedrunning. Because I am placed 90th place on the first map, I think like 83rd on the second map, and 53rd or something on the third map. So yeah, welcome in, Raiders. I just wanted to show off a little with Jump King. But Suki, what were you up to? You were playing Song of the Prairie. How was that? Also, I'm pretty sure you are aware, but I do a little bit of a feature for the streamer who raids in as a thank you for bringing your community here. So if you would like, we can either do a VOD feature of your stream today, or we can do 3 completely random clip shoutouts. It's just like a small way for me to repay you trusting me with your community, and I can introduce my community to you as a streamer so they can follow you. It was an amazing and weird stream. The game is odd. Ooh, odd how? Yeah, let me know what you pick, but we're just going over the evidence right now in this trial. My clips are anywhere from sussy or weird. We get a lot of different kinds of clips. I don't mind. It is a 18+ stream here. We are an 18+ community. So if you have sus clips or things like that, totally okay if you'd like to do clips. Can I do clips for you? Since I haven't seen you in a long time. That's very sweet of you. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. It has been a while. I think we stream at like really different times, so it's kind of hard to to link up sometimes. I will be doing shout out clips then, if that's okay. I just want to make sure that I have your approval because I know not everyone is comfortable with their clips appearing on other streams. So I just wanted to, okay, perfect. I will play some clips. Here we go. Hold on. I think I typed it in wrong. Even I don't know my own clip command. Is it not working? What? Hello? Hello? I'm pretty sure it's the first. Why isn't it working? Hold on. What if I take out... What if I take out the at? There we go.
Right with the friends, so just be safe.
Usually it works with the at, but what a cute clip. What an adorable clip.
Yes! Fuck! Yes! 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 Yes!
And that was your old V-Roid model. Ah, those were the days. Tsuki actually does have a live 2D model now. She is a very, very beautiful, gorgeous fox lady. Love her design. But yeah, go check her out, you guys. Did I? I did not.
Fucking run! Just run!
Oh, that's her
kid.
new model. Well, new, but I mean, she's been this model for a very long time. Actually.
Nope, you saw what happened last time?
But yeah, go check her out. Again, this is her link. I did not misspell. I can see it right there. S-O... Oh, I see. Never mind. I gaslighted myself. I see. You're right. You're right. I gaslighted. Oh, goodness. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome in, Jartrana. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Puppy Kingdom. For those of you who have just raided in, and for Suki as well, make sure you are getting in that after stream self-care. I will be here because I literally just started streaming, and we'll be doing some voice acting and, you know, silly stuff for the rest of the evening. You're welcome to stick around. Thank you for the head pat and the hydrate. Oh, and also, since you guys are new, you can check the pinned comment, but I'm doing a stamp rally. So if you guys like stamp cards, who likes stamp cards here? I'm doing like a virtual stamp card situation where every stream in November, you can redeem a daily stamp. I'm so happy I got to raid you. I'm so happy that you got to raid me and come in and hang out, even if it was just for a little bit, Suki. I hope you have a good rest of your evening. Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Thank you so much for coming in. I really, really appreciate it. And congrats on your new model. Next month, I hope that the, debut goes well, or the reveal. I appreciate that. The stamp is a daily stamp card for the days that I'm streaming. And if you get 18 stamps, and it's really easy because there's also makeup stamps that you can do. If you get 18 stamps, I will send you a free holiday postcard, okay? Who doesn't like free stuff? So if you are interested in a free holiday postcard with a cute little Christmas print from me with my model and my dog Hermes, you are welcome to participate in our stamp rally. The first link will give you the month schedule. So I do have days planned out where I'm streaming. And then the second link will be a link to the basically like report card for the stamps. So hopefully if you guys participate, I hope that you do. We do have a fun time with the stamps, and I hope you can participate and possibly get a holiday postcard at the end of all of this. But yeah, make sure you're taking care of yourselves. Don't be afraid to raid and run if you have to leave or take care of things after stream. Thank you so much again for supporting Tsuki and coming in. All right. We just checked the 10-year-old article. We're pressing each statement. Okay, we're pressing.
Hold it!
We just started. And that rumor would be a 10-year-old tale now, but one that no Londoner would ever forget. Ah, right. I know just what you're talking about, I think. Of course, it couldn't be anything else.
Yes, that story will never disappear.
The tale of the condemned killer, rising from the dead. That is the central attraction of my house of horrors. The rumor was whispered all over the city, and it was like this. It was in Lowgate Cemetery behind the prison, in the dead of night after the execution of the killer. The interred professor slid back the stone slab covering his tomb and emerged from his grave. A young man who witnessed this felt a scream welling up inside him. But an instant later, he heard an ear-splitting gunshot from over his shoulder. The bullet struck the emerging corpse, and he fell motionless once more. The scream finally found its way from the mouth of the young witness, who turned and ran for his life. The corpse climbed out of his own grave? And then somebody shot him? Who was it? Nobody knows, even today. But remember, it was just a rumor, perhaps nothing more than a ghost story. The good people of London, they love stories like this. That is why it was in every newspaper across the capital. But was it just a story? I mean, this is exactly the scene that can be seen today at your museum, isn't it? Oui, the special exhibit was modeled on that very illustration. For a while afterwards, the contents of that article were reproduced in every newspaper imaginable. Madame, might I say something? Please, go ahead, mademoiselle. When something is described as a rumor, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's entirely made up. I believe that often rumors contain elements of the truth. Ah, I see that people from the East can be just as astute as the people of Europe. Can we be sure, for instance, that the professor's execution was successful? It is not possible for the dead to come back to life. Sorry? 10 years ago, I was there, in Lowgate Cemetery, after the criminal known as the Professor was killed by hanging. I took a wax impression of his visage from the corpse just before it was interred. So I can assure you, the man was dead. I see. Oh, he was dead already? Then who was climbing out of the grave? It would certainly appear that the condemned man suffered the intended fate. I'm so confused. An impression of the visage was taken directly from the corpse in accordance with Tuspel's family principles. Oh wait, hold on. We need to press this one.
Hold it!
Is that true of every waxwork in your museum then? It is, assuming the subject is dead, of course. Live subjects have to cooperate in a similar way. I have letters from imprisoned criminals all the time, you know. What sort of letters? When my time comes, please make a waxwork of me, comme ça. No. My museum is famous, monsieur. To be made into a waxwork is an honor, and for some criminals, a symbol of status even. Because nothing says hardened criminal better than wax. And it is thanks to one killer in particular that my museum has gained such popularity in London. I refer to the star of the special exhibit, of course, the Professor, whose form you claim to have captured by taking an impression from the actual corpse. There are no exceptions to the principles of the Tuspels. Okay.
Hold it!
Shrill, welcome in. How are you? Hello, hello. Surely that's illegal, isn't it? It would seem the proprietress of the repository of novelties was blinded by monetary greed. It had nothing to do with money. The man is part of London's criminal history. That's why I had to sculpt him, to record this history. It is the raison d'etre of the Tuspel Museum. But if the man was convicted in a closed court and sent immediately for execution, then surely nobody but the members of the judiciary present know the killer's true identity. I assure you, behind that mask is hidden the true face of the Professor. It's very legal, and don't call me Shirley. Do you realize what you're saying? The Professor's identity is a national secret! I understand. And now that the truth about the special exhibit has been revealed, it must perhaps close. Of course it will. As will your entire museum if you don't tread very carefully, madame. That could be. Another interesting chapter in the history of my family, don't you think? So, 10 years ago, on the night of the Professor's execution, you took a wax impression of his face from the corpse. Oui, exactement. I hid myself until he gave me a signal. I was there for a very long time that night. You were there longer than you expected to be. I had some difficulties in capturing the subject correctly. As I removed the mask, the mouth of the cadaver fell open, and I had some problems with the chin. Ew, gross. Dare I ask? The man had been dead for a short while already, you see. His muscles were relaxing, and consequently, his chin would not align itself correctly. Oh dear. What a horrible thought. Under normal circumstances, I would have an assistant with me. However, that night I was alone, and as a consequence, I missed my preferred window of time. What do you mean? When I take the impression of the visage of a cadaver, I always wait until 3 hours after death. Why 3 hours? Is that amount of time significant? It is because of rigor mortis. A wriggly mortis? It's the name given to a phenomenon that occurs in recently deceased bodies. As a rule, 3 hours post-death, the muscles in the body begin to stiffen. By approximately 10 hours post-death, the entire body is completely rigid and inflexible. And then from that point on, the muscles slowly revert to their relaxed state. Hold on one second. The effect is often used to estimate the time of death when a body is discovered.
A body has been discovered.
Oh god, Danganronpa. It always comes back to Danganronpa. Well, that was an education, if a slightly scary one. As the Mademoiselle says, rigor mortis commences 3 hours after death, and it starts in the jaw. I see, so that's why you wait. Before that time, the mouth falls open, and it is very difficult to do my work. Ugh, it's getting hard for me to do my work with all this talk of corpses. I wonder about that information the course just heard from Madame Tussbells. It's significant, maybe. Why? Why is it significant? Time of death. What does the report say for time of death? Oh. Why didn't it let me see it? Examine. Midnight, 17th of June. Okay, so depending on when the body or when he was executed, this could be when rigor mortis sets in, right? So we just need to put that on file, like on the court record, perhaps? Okay. It's significant. The information about rigor mortis that you just shared with us. Oops. Would you mind including that in your formal testimony? I believe it could be significant. Of course, I do not mind at all. I can't help feeling that after this latest topic, the atmosphere in the courtroom has become extremely grave. Oh no, Susato. This is no time for jokes, Miss Susato. Madame, kindly amend your testimony as discussed. Bien sûr. It took me a very long time because it was before the onset of rigor mortis.
Hold it!
Rigor mortis being the phenomenon you describe whereby the corpse becomes stiff after death. I think you said that it starts at the jaw about 3 hours post-death, is that right? Oui, c'est ça. Of course, the exact duration depends a little on the season. Oops. Why am I, like, clicking random things? I didn't realize a waxwork artisan would be so well versed in the subject. No, that is only elementary knowledge in the field of legal medicine. Well, I had no idea about it, but maybe I won't admit to my ignorance about forensic science. I could ask my father to give you a very simple primer if you like. I think corpses should be your domain. I'm not good with them. Oh dear, I'll do my very best. As dawn approached, I was very worried that I could be discovered. You say that dawn was approaching. What was the time of day then, approximately? Well, I could not say. But when I left the cemetery, my utensils and wax, the morning light was becoming visible. The execution took place on 17th of June, which had the earliest sunrise of that year. Indeed it did. First light would have been around 4:40 in the morning. That really is early. The fact is, I had very little time, so I finished my work in half an hour. It was necessary to complete the impression and bury the body before daybreak, of course. If somebody had discovered me there, it would have been a catastrophe, so I had to hurry. It's important! It's important! 4:40! 30 minutes ago! Oh, 3 hours would have been like 3 and the body would have been rigid. Is it me, or does Mr. Sholmes seem to be taking shape more quickly now, too? You certainly appear to go to extraordinary lengths for your work, madame. I wonder, is what she just said particularly significant? It's significant! Madame, those details about how long it took you to complete the sculpture in the early sunrise, could you include them in your testimony? I believe they may be significant. Of course, if you would like me to. You're quite right, Mr. Naruhodo. It is intriguing. A sunrise at 4 in the morning would be absolutely unimaginable at home, wouldn't it? That's not quite what I meant by significant. Tomorrow is Friday! Ooh, we are excited for Friday. Welcome in, John. Hello, hello. Kindly amend your formal testimony then, madame. Hurried to finish my work in the half hour before sunrise. Then I left as soon as the corpse was interred. Did you have reason to believe you might be discovered once the sun came up or something? I had paid the gravedigger... Oh, sorry, hold on. I paid the gravedigger money to keep my little secret, of course. But with the morning light, I knew that the warden from the prison would commence his patrol of the area. Couldn't you just have paid off the warden too, then? I had already paid the gravedigger. As I said, you cannot buy the silence of everyone, or the secret is no longer a secret, huh? The sunrise was at 4:40 a.m. that day, which means that it would have been around 4 when you began sculpting your work. Oui, that must be correct. That would be when the gravedigger gave me the signal to come out of hiding. So that's all I have to go on. What's your feeling, Mr. Naruhodo? For some reason, Dr. Scythe went along with Dr. Drebber's plan. Now, if that's really true, then the professor is the only other thing we know of that links the pair of them. So I feel sure that waxwork must be a clue to this mystery somehow. In that case, we must use this cross-examination to uncover exactly what it means. Otherwise, the jurors are sure to revert their leanings and the trial will be over. I agree, but interestingly, uncovering what the professor has to do with all of this means more to Lord Van Zieks than anyone. That's the impression I'm getting anyway. Yes, as do I. After all, he has a profound connection to the professor as well. Okay, hold on. So... If we press...
Hold it!
No, hold on, sorry. Wrong button. So... what comment are we supposed to press? Or what comment are we supposed to present evidence on? Can I save? Because there's two comments that I want to present it on, because I'm not sure what it could be. So it took me a very long time because it was before the onset of rigor mortis, and then I hurried to finish my work in the half hour before sunrise. So basically, if we present the autopsy report that the time of death was confirmed at midnight, then wouldn't that mean that she started in the half hour before sunrise? Okay, let's present on this one first. And then if it's not this one, it's the other comment, surely.
Objection!
Okay. Madame Tuspels. I have here an autopsy report that was filed 10 years ago now. It confirms the death of the professor following his execution at the gallows. And is that a problem? I believe it is, because your testimony and a particular detail in the report completely contradict one another. What? Sorry, that's supposed to be quoi? Are you going to explain yourself, my Nipponese friend? According to her testimony, Madame Tuspels was creating her wax impression just before dawn. And at that time, rigor mortis had not yet set in. Am I correct so far, Madame? You are, yes. As I said, the stiffening of the jaw is the first sign of rigor mortis 2 to 3 hours after death. But the man's chin was limp, so he cannot have been dead for a long time. Princess speaking French? What? Quoi? Man, hold on. I don't remember any French. Elle parle français? How do I say can? How do I say like she can speak French? Elle parle something parle. No, I can't remember. Can speak. Can speak. Oh man, it was so long ago, French class. It was like ages and ages ago. It's fine. But on the other hand, if you look at Dr. Seith's report, it quite clearly states the following. Death by hanging confirmed at midnight, 17th June. She can speak. Elle peut parler. Oh, elle peut parler français? Quoi? Sorry for the bad French. No! Yeah, me too, Van Zeeks. If the professor indeed died at midnight that day, then by the time you were sculpting his face, rigor mortis would already have set in. Hui, yes, you are right, the chin. It would have been completely stiff. The duolingual owl is crying in the distance. It's no, it's the meme where it's like, 100 meters away from you, and then like the GIF quickly counts down to like 0 meters away from you. Oh no, he's here. Menacingly. In other words, this report is wrong.
Objection!
My whole identity on the internet is me, a French Canadian speaking English. You're all right, princess. Thanks. Thanks, John. No coroner makes mistakes when recording the time of death. The very idea is absurd. In that case, there's only one possible conclusion. The execution didn't actually take place at the stated time. Impossible! Interesting. Okay. Why would the time of death be different? Order! Order! Counsel, this is beyond folly. Not only do you indict the author of the report, Dr. Scythe, but you also implicate members of staff at Barclay Prison where the execution took place. By heck! Extraordinary! Not in my day! Masaka! My learned friend appears to have overlooked one very crucial fact. What fact? The professor died that night, without question. He did. Of course he did. I moved the man's limp jaw with my own hands. Yes, the professor died that night. But what if he didn't die at the gallows? Didn't die at... Are you insane? What exactly are you suggesting did happen in that case? It's almost impossible to believe, but it would explain the link. What do you mean? He died later? Between Dr. Scythe, the professor, and the one other person of interest, Enoch Drebber? I have evidence that will explain exactly what I'm suggesting happened that night? What evidence? Excuse me! Counsel, present the evidence at once! What? The evidence that allegedly explains what really happened the night of the professor's execution? Hello? Do I have evidence? The gunshot. Oh, wait. So it has to be this because he was hung and then he crawled out of the grave and was shot by the bullet, and that's how he actually died, and that happened later on in the night. Right? Is there other... What does this say? Was the ball mask to blame for the Great Blaze? The fire that engulfed the popular theater continues to draw attention as reports that Her Majesty Queen Victoria herself visited the Royal Italian Opera to inspect the site and offer words of condolences to the theater's owner, Mr. Frederick Guy. The theater had been under lease to famed magician John Henry Anderson, and there is some speculation that the blame for the fire lies squarely with him for his insistence on holding his ball mask there. Could his magical tricks have played a trick on him, costing the city a great center for the arts? The investigation into the true cause is expected to continue into next month, if not beyond, according to our sources. The Great Stink. Parliament is to finally address the foul issue. After a great many years, Parliament has at long last resolved to relieve the citizens of London of the horrifying stench that carries on the slightest breeze and lingers in the nostrils of every man, woman, and child. A great sewer system to be built underfoot that will divert fecal something like away from the river. Charles Darwin to receive Copley Medal. This year's recipient of the Royal Society's most prestigious award is Mr. Charles Darwin for his highly important contributions and researches into the fields of geology, zoology, and botanical physiology. Mr. Darwin joins the ranks of such monumental figures and Leon Foucault. Mad sheep rampage. Unexplained phenomenon grips Oxfordshire region. Locals reported a most remarkable circumstance in which folded sheep were seized with a sudden fright and leapt from field and pens. Not even the blank. Okay, so I think it's this. Right? What happened that night is written very plainly in this newspaper article. Executed criminal returns in the dead of night at local cemetery. You're suggesting it was a corpse. Coming back from the dead now. Well, if this article is to be believed, yes. The professor, assumed dead following his execution, emerged from his grave and was killed again.
Objection.
Don't be a fool. That's simply a rumor, published by the gutter press. Can you be certain of that? Are you serious? The point is, as the article says, there was a witness to what happened. My word. Yes, indeed. Mais oui. The young man who stole into the cemetery by chance that night.
Objection.
Of course there was a witness. The story didn't write itself, but obviously the man made it all up. And in any case, that was 10 years ago now. There would surely be no hope of finding him. On the contrary, my lord, we all know this witness well. What? Are you suggesting, counsel, that you've identified the person in question? That you know who claims to have seen these utterly incredible events take place? Yes, my lord. In fact, you could say he's right here, before my very eyes. You will substantiate your latest claim now then, counsel. Who is the alleged witness of the staggering scene from the cemetery 10 years ago? Who are you? You're right here, Mr. Enoch Drebber. The man in question is Mr. Enoch Drebber. Drebber? The previous witness. The special exhibit in the House of Horrors at Madame Tuspel's Museum of Waxwork recreates the decade-old scene in great detail. The condemned criminal emerging from the grave, and beside the tomb, a young man with a lantern stumbling upon the terrifying sight. And that young man is a 10-year younger Mr. Enoch Drebber. Order! Order! Surely not, counsel. A Drebber was there? In Lowgate Cemetery? What is all this talk about Mr. Drebber? Is the name significant? Of course, Madame Tuspels doesn't know, does she? Yes, it's extremely significant, Madame. To your situation as well, in fact. What situation? The theft of the Professor Waxwork from your museum some days ago was perpetrated by the very same man. No! But that would mean... Madame Tuspels. It would appear you know the name, Enoch Drebber. Oui, yes, I know it. But from long ago, in the past. What? Oh my! Good gracious! Explain yourself. Tell us everything you know. Yes, of course. The story of the young man and the terrible sight he witnessed in the cemetery 10 years ago was published in every single newspaper in London and throughout Great Britain. However, in all of the articles, the witness was simply described as a certain young man. No details were published about his identity. His name was never revealed. That is, apart from in one newspaper. The Daily Circus. It is the paper from which comes the article I have already shown the court. You're saying that his full name was only publicized in that article? Goodness me, yes, here it is. The university student who experienced this shocking event is Mr. Enoch Drebber, a disciple of science at the University of London and a resident of its student dorms. Unbelievable. When I read the article, I went to meet with the man. His discovery of the condemned criminal coming back to life in the cemetery in the dead of night would make a perfect exhibit for my House of Horrors, whether it was the truth or not. I see, so you went to meet Mr. Drebber in order to sculpt a waxwork of the man, did you? Exactement. He was studying science at the University of London in those days. He was just a poor student. I paid him £5 to model for the waxwork, and since that time it has been in my museum to recreate the scene of terror from the cemetery. Interesting. So, 10 years ago, a young man appealed to the public about an extraordinary event he'd witnessed. A criminal who had been put to death re-emerging from his grave in the middle of the night. But the public treated his claim as nothing more than an amusing anecdote that was soon forgotten. 10 years later, the same man steals a waxwork model of the executed criminal, ostensibly to use as a body double for the victim in the case we're discussing here today. Even though the waxwork build is a poor match for the victim and its face is obscured by a mask. Sorry, I hit the microphone. I have so much trouble saying identity. Why? Identity? Do you say like Eden or something? Do you want to say E? Like E for I? So the question is, excuse me, I'm a little bit eepy. Why would the man do such a thing? Which brings us to 3 days ago, when the birdcage crashed into the Crystal Tower. If the birdcage had, in fact, contained not the body of Mr. Asman, but the same waxwork, the coroner from Scotland Yard who investigated Dr. Scythe would have noticed immediately. And yet, she submitted this autopsy report for the victim, which the court has seen earlier. Why? Because the waxwork was that of the professor. Is that what you're saying? Dr. Scythe put her name to a document confirming the death of a condemned criminal who was still alive. A criminal whose apparent resurrection was witnessed by Mr. Trevor. But that misconduct was a deadly secret the coroner would do anything to protect. Which is precisely why Mr. Trevor used that particular waxwork as the body double. Ugh! Yes, the TT is also pronounced differently. How do you usually pronounce like the end part of that? Or how would it be? How do you want to say it? My lord, this court must summon Dr. Scythe to the stand. The defense is determined to find out exactly how the coroner and Mr. Trevor are connected. But according to the missive I received this morning through the prosecutor's office, Dr. Scythe is unable to participate in these proceedings. Is that not the case? She told us so herself, didn't she? Lord Van Zeeks won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it. Lord Strongheart? The Pandora's box you were warned about is the professor case. But please don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me. Something happened on the night of that killer's execution 10 years ago, and surely nobody would want to get to the bottom of that more than Lord Van Zeeks. Hard to write out how we say it in French. Oh, okay, no worries, no worries. I thought I'd try to ask just to see, but if you have a hard time, that's okay. The prosecution calls for the instructions in that missive to be scrapped. But Lord Van Zeeks, the missive was issued from the Lord Chief Justice's office.
Objection!
The assigned prosecutor has the final say on policy in any particular trial. In other words, me. Yes. Let Enoch Drebber and Dr. Scythe both take the stand together. Objection! Hello, welcome in, Jay. How are you? Order! Order! Very well, I will uphold your request. Sorry for... You're gonna hear silly voices today if you're here. Bailiff, send a subpoena with immediate effect addressed to Dr. Scythe of the Forensic Investigation Team. The woman is compelled to attend on Her Majesty's orders. Uphold? Whoa! All right then, Enoch Drebber and Dr. Scythe. If they weren't colluding with one another, this crime could never have been committed, I'm just a stone's throw away. I can feel it. The truth behind all of this is about to come out. I like your judge voice. Thank you. I try. I try. Thank you for your attendance at such short notice, Dr. Scythe. I'm disappointed in you, Lord Van Zeeks. You've completely betrayed the agreed policy of both Scotland Yard and the prosecutor's office. A betrayal is not in my nature, as long as the truth isn't compromised. If it is, there's even a hint of wrongdoing, then no matter whom it concerns or disgruntles, I will pursue the matter to the bitter end, as would any prosecutor worth his salt. Why are all the girls babes? Mizu! Hello, welcome in! I don't know, you tell me. They're super cute, all of them. Welcome in, Mizu. I hope you've been having a good evening. Oh my god, you guys, Mizu is gonna be helping me voice some characters next week on Tuesday, so I won't have to do all of this by myself anymore. Please save me. We'll have some fun. I volunteered for tribute, it's true. So, you know, we'll be doing some side-by-side voice acting. It'll be real fun. Mr. Drebber, you took the victim's life by means of a machine that you constructed in your workshop. And Dr. Scythe, as the investigating coroner, you were the first on the scene to examine the victim's body. Only help with voice? We fail on crime solving together? No! Don't say that! Or identité, I guess? Is that how you would say it? The way you want to say identity is identité. Identité? That's funny. That's kind of funny. It is the belief of the defense that you collaborated with each other and were both complicit in this crime. And where's your evidence? At present, we have no definitive evidence, but we do have a very significant clue. What are you talking about? I'm talking, of course, about the waxwork. This model of the killer, known as the Professor, who was sentenced to death 10 years ago. You don't need to tell me. I witnessed the man's execution with my own eyes, and officially pronounced him dead. That remains to be seen. Is that so? According to newspaper reports from the time on the following night following his execution, the killer came back to life. Very close. The best I could say. No worries. Thank you for trying to type that out for me, John. It was very interesting. Don't worry. You can't be as bad as Princess during her Dangan stream. No, it was so bad. I'm really bad at solving puzzles because I'm stupid. Don't waste my time. And the sole witness to that mysterious event was you, Mr. Drebber, wasn't it? If what you saw in the graveyard that night 10 years ago wasn't some chilling fiction but reality, it would make you privy to a very great secret of Dr. Scythe's. A secret so profound it could compel the coroner to agree to collaborate in your evil scheme, in fact. Mr. Drebber, tell the court. Tell everyone the truth of what you saw that night in Lowgate Cemetery. I can assure you that I have to retake multiple times whenever I have to say it on my audios. So he was the student who saw it.
You can see the resemblance actually, can't you? With the man in Madame Two-Spells, I mean?
Surely he's not going to claim that's really what he saw, especially not after all these years.
He was a research student at the University of London, wasn't he?
And a bit too clever for his own good, if you ask me.
Redemption, hello, welcome in, effin' programmer. Also, don't forget, you guys, please check your progress report card in the second link in the pinned comment. If you would like to see your progress for a holiday postcard, you can see it on the second link. If you're like, Princess, what the heck are you talking about? What postcard? You can click the first link and there's information about our stamp card rally that we're doing this month. Just in case, I will be back in a bit. Need to redeem. Definitely will stay. Just give me a... No worries. Thank you so much for coming by. What an interesting twist. When at the time not one person would take me seriously, yet now here we are, 10 years later, and suddenly my story matters. And in a court of law, too. Very well, then. If everyone so wishes, let's be frank. I'll tell you the truth of what happened that night, for what it's worth. Interesting.
So, Mr. Drebber, your testimony, please, about the events of that night 10 years ago. You will tell the court exactly what you stumbled across in Lowgate Cemetery.
Yes, of course. As you wish. The reason I was in Lowgate Cemetery at all 10 years ago was for a spot of moonlighting, shall we say. Yes, the illustration in the newspaper was based on what I witnessed that night. But thinking back now, I realized that I never actually saw the professor. Soon afterwards, I was visited by a young woman who sculpted a model of me from wax. Then I gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist. And it was all because of that newspaper article. Okay, so he's covering for her already. Wait a minute, you're claiming you didn't actually see the professor now? Of course, you'd have to have a screw loose if you believed a corpse could come back from the dead. But, so, you're saying this article is not worth the paper it's printed on? I think that would describe it perfectly, yes. Ugh. You have a chance of having Princess's fingerprint on a piece of paper, or even a single hair. You could clone your own princess. Cloning module not included. That's kind of creepy. Please don't try to clone me. I would be very, very upset at you. Because if I ever meet my doppelganger in real life, it'll have to be a fight to the death. And we all know I would die. So please don't clone me. If the details in the article aren't true, it nullifies your argument for why Mr. Drebber and Dr. Scythe would have been working together. So he's discrediting himself to cripple my argument.
Tell me, witness. You claim to have been in the cemetery on some auxiliary business. Can you elaborate?
Such little faith in yourself? I already know I would die, okay? If I had to fight my doppelganger, I would die. It's me. I would be the dead one. That's right. Grave robbing, to be precise. As you know, Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison. So among students at the university, it had a reputation for being haunted by ghosts of condemned convicts.
Grave robbing, you say?
Yes, exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative. Oh, also, you know what? It's true. I learned this from some true crime thing where back in the day, there would be like, grave robbing was a huge business where they would literally sell bodies for medical people to like practice on. And it was mainly bodies of convicts, yeah. Yep. Fun fact for the day. I got back to where I was in Jump King and you were proud of me. Hello, Autumn. Welcome in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for redeeming a stamp. I appreciate it. How are you doing? I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy that at least like 1 or 2 people really enjoyed Jump King from my little like birthday week, and you guys are continuing to play. It makes me very happy. Of course, I never laid a finger on any valuables buried with the dead. So you were one of the so-called resurrectionists, a particularly unpleasant scourge on society. Actually, my fellows and I went by another name, the Repurposers.
That is quite beyond the pale. You would invite divine retribution, sir.
Yes, well, I think I suffered retribution enough. The Daily Circus eventually unearthed my name and put it in print. It caused me a great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. That was the only paper with the bad grace to identify me unambiguously, I might add. I see. Out of interest, who drew the illustration for this article? It was Odie Asman! We know this! It was Odie Asman! No cloning, please. Thanks, Show. Show strikes back with a clip. Yes, that was the reporter who just exposed me. He sketched that right in front of me as I described the scene. So he did have a motive. Obviously, as time ticked on, I bitterly regretted what I'd done, claiming to have seen something I never truly saw. Foolish. Very foolish.
Well, counsel for the defense, you may proceed to cross-examination now.
At once, my lord. Oh, Hermes came to sit by my feet. He's such a nice, like, little portable heater. You're so warm, buddy. Hold on. I'm so scared. I just need to adjust my chair because he likes to put his head right in between my chair. So sometimes I accidentally, like, almost accidentally roll over him. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Absolutely not. Okay, so let's press.
Hold it!
By moonlighting, you mean grave robbing, do you? Surely, sorry, I need to be emotionless for this man. Surely, you only need to look at the graveyard scene and my appearance to gauge the answer to that. The lantern and the spade. But who on earth would want to buy a dead body? See? Look! See? I knew it! It was hospital students. Medical students! Any major hospital. A hospital? In order to better understand the human body, the study of anatomy is crucial to medical science. But there isn't a hospital in the world that has enough specimens to work with. Though obviously they can't openly express an interest in obtaining more by dubious means. As aspiring scientists, we young research students had no money to work with, as I'm sure you can imagine. So we made surreptitious arrangements with a hospital via some of our medical student acquaintances. We would never take anything of value from the graves. That was all for the furtherance of science, you see. That's what we all told ourselves every time we stole into the graveyard at night, spade in hand. You realize body snatching is a serious crime. If you were caught, you could expect the gravest of consequences. We students were caught between the hammer and the anvil. We needed funds for research. Professor Harebrained said exactly the same.
I'm quite speechless at the apparent levity with which you've revealed this abhorrent behavior.
Well, if you wanted to know why I was there at Lowgate Cemetery, that's the reason. But I never expected it to end the way it did. That I regret to this day. Based on what I witnessed that night. Okay. The strange happening at Lowgate Cemetery, which you now deny. Not entirely. I ran to fetch the police at the time, you know. I was shaking like a leaf. But they didn't believe a word of it. In fact, I was very nearly arrested myself. So you went to the papers instead. I started big with the London News, but unsurprisingly, they didn't want to know either. In the end, though, it was reporters from the gossip rags, the gutter press, that came to get my story. And it spread like the plague through the capital, as Gossip-hungry Londoners lapped up the tale. The story was in every single paper at the time, with the exception of some broadsheets. And yet, only 2 or 3 of them actually interviewed me personally. Most of the accounts turned out to be very interpretive ghost stories. What about the article in the Daily Circus? That particular journalist found me at my dormitory. I don't know how, but he discovered my name, so I recounted to him exactly what had happened that night. And from your description, he drew this illustration. Precisely, that's how I learned that the condemned man was the infamous professor. Because the reporter told me so. I had no idea myself, you see. Newspaper reporters are wont to snoop around in matters that don't concern them. So the scene portrayed in the illustration is accurate, then? Well... Never actually saw the professor. What are you talking about? I think I explained already, didn't I? Lowgate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison, so it was renowned among us students at the university for being haunted by the ghost of condemned convicts. For some absurd reason, I was scared of the graveyard at night, and as a result, only too willing to believe that nonsense about the dead coming back to life. But you said you actually saw it. Hello! Wanted to stop in and say hello before bed. Hope you're having a wonderful stream. Thank you, you're so sweet. Yes, thank you, thank you. We are having a fantastic time. Let me give you a tuck into bed. Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your evening if you decide to, you know, hang out and lurk here or, you know, turn off your computer for the night. Thank you, I appreciate it. I said what I'd seen in my mind's eye. After all, resurrection is impossible, isn't it? You'd have to be unhinged to think otherwise. Unless, of course, you have some evidence that proves I encountered the professor that night. Do we have evidence? I don't think we do. I don't know. Is there any material evidence that could show he really did see the professor? If we have anything at all, Mr. Naruhodo. I know, I need to present it against that irritatingly backtracking statement of his. The point is, that night was a pivotal moment in my life. Bullet? Bullet. He was shot. Someone was shot. The corpse did get shot. But does that mean he also got shot? What evidence do we have about... Oops, sorry. What evidence do we have about that night? We have this 10-year-old article about the resurrection. We have... this contract, but not really. Death by hanging. We do have this, and it was the neck, around the neck of the waxwork. And then... it does have blood here, but like from what? I don't know. But that's it. And but this was the one that was in the waxwork museum on like the young Drebber's neck. So I don't even know if that's like the right, like I don't know if that would be the same camera. Cause you can see here he does have a camera around his neck. Okay, let's just press this. That young woman being Madame Two-Spells, of course. Precisely. I must say, I didn't expect to run into her again like this 10 years later. As I have explained, I went by the name published in the article, and come ça, I found the man. Hello, Hello, thank you for the pie. Welcome in, Azure. Welcome, welcome. Yes, the article in the Daily Circus, I think you said. I was a poor student with barely a penny to my name at the time. And the young lady put £5 in front of me. So you readily consented to having a waxwork of yourself made and gave permission for it to be put on display. I did. I should sell what little I had to sell, I concluded. Ah, oui, I remember now. I purchased something else from you that day, n'est-ce pas? His camera. His camera. Tell me it's his camera. Did you? I can't say I remember. What was it, madame? His camera! His camera! His camera! We have evidence! We have evidence! Oh yes, I made a point of taking it with me whenever I made an excursion into any cemetery.
You took a camera with you, sir. To what end?
To record the details of the bodies I disinterred. But I had no intention of ever visiting a graveyard again after that night, so I sold it.
I see.
I'm sorry, Azure, that we don't have any fishing in here. I apologize. But I still have it, monsieur. It is part of the special exhibit in my House of Horrors. I am very meticulous about such details. It is the Tuspel's way. It would seem, then, that this is the very camera Mr. Drebber took with him to Lowgate Cemetery on the night in question.
Yes, interesting.
Dark staining can be seen. Okay. What if that blood... Oh, do we know, though? Okay, hold on. Gave up my dream of becoming a scientist because of the damn newspaper article. Okay, hold on. We have to finish pressing everyone before we get... Let's get all the facts first, okay? Calm down. This article, you mean, published in the Daily Circus? Yes, somebody informed the dean that it was my name that appeared in the article. And carelessly let slip that night after night I was digging up graves, hardly a model student, you might say. The university's reputation was execrably defiled, and I was expelled as a result.
Mon Dieu, I had no idea.
And having been run out of university, you found employment in a somewhat specialist trade. You combined your knowledge of science with knowledge of stage magic to create various experimental machines intended to demonstrate never-before-seen technology. And you used those deceptive machines to trick the government and private investors into giving you money. Muscle Mommy, hello Zero Lightning, welcome in, how are you? We are calm, Princess? No, nobody was calm, okay? Everybody was freaking out, so I needed to tell you to calm down. Professor Albert Hairbrain was just your latest victim, wasn't he? Whatever are you talking about? I have no recollection of doing anything of the sort. I'm good. It's been a good start to November. A little tired because I still have some October things to finish out. But, I mean, on the whole, it's, you know, been a good November so far. Yeah. What's Drebber up to? Why would he suddenly change his tune and recant his claim? I wonder if perhaps it's because his circumstances have changed now. What circumstances? Well, if he admits to having seen the professor emerging alive from his grave 10 years ago, it will expose a secret in Dr. Scythe's past that she would desperately want to hide. Yes, of course. If Drebber and Dr. Scythe are working together now, then if Drebber were to betray her, there would be no reason for her to continue to cooperate. In that case, there's only one way around it. I'll have to prove he really did see it. Prove he really did see the professor's corpse coming back from the dead as he originally claimed. Yes, Mr. Naruhodo, exactly. Just don't wear yourself out with the catching up on things. Oh, you know, that's just how I am. I'm a workaholic, you know. Okay, never actually saw the professor. That's a lie. How can we prove that he did see the professor? Dark staining can be seen in the bellows. Can I just save? Hold on, let me just save. I don't think this is right. Can we save? Can we save before I continue? Okay, so we're going to try to present the camera at this specific...
Objection.
No, that wasn't it. Okay, hold on. Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. Okay, okay, calm down, calm down, calm down, think about it. Never actually saw the professor. Soon afterwards, visited by a woman who sculpted a model of me from wax. Gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist. All because of that newspaper. Never saw the professor. Illustrations based on what I witnessed that night. 10 years ago. What? Is there anything I can do? You gotta pace things when I- Calm, princess, calm! Oh god, I'm stupid. Hold on. I might be too stupid for this. Oh god, thinking back now, I never realized I actually saw the professor at all. No, how can you say that? When you did see him. What? Let's reload. Load. Okay. So what I witnessed that night. We pressed every statement, right? So if we pressed every statement, what were we given? We were given a new amendment to our current evidence, which is that the camera is in fact the original camera that was held by Drebber the night of the event in question. So that means, okay, so an illustration based on the newspaper article, and we're supposed to present evidence that like contradicts the statement, right? How can we prove that he saw the professor? So, do we have to say like, okay, so is he gonna amend? Okay, hold on. Because in the article, it says he saw it, but here it says he didn't see it. So are we supposed to present this? Illustration in the newspaper, or do we present illustration at this? No, because it would be the same thing that he said he witnessed, but then this one says he didn't actually witness it. So what if we, because this one is the one that's contradicting, right?
Objection.
Okay, okay, because it contradicts. So is he going to clarify? Okay, hold on. Sorry, Mr. Drebber, but I don't believe that. Don't believe what? Your latest claim. You did see the professor on that night 10 years ago. Oh dear, we seem to be at odds, but I was there, and you were not. I know what I didn't see. The illustration with this article was drawn based upon what you told the journalist that you witnessed. I'm back! Welcome back, FN Programmer! Hello! A figure emerging from a tomb, wearing an iron mask. Yes, when the killer was tried 10 years ago, It was decided in the closed court's ruling that the man would wear a mask to hide his identity. It wasn't to be removed even during his execution and subsequent burial.
Not even the prison wardens were to see the man's face. But obviously, the provision of this mask was not public knowledge.
So, because he described the iron mask, which meant that he had to have seen that it was the professor, because it's really strange for a body with a mask on its head to be raised from the dead, right? Like, specifically. Okay, so Mr. Drebber, as you've just heard, a lowly student of the University of London certainly wouldn't have known about the condemned man's mask. So unless you'd actually seen the professor that night, it's inconceivable that the artist would have included the mask in that illustration. Ugh. Okay.
Order! Order! Well, Mr. Drebber?
It's a vile scene, isn't it, if you look closely? And as I've already been at pains to point out, I was utterly petrified. Which is why I had it in my head that I'd seen such a blood-curdling sight. But afterwards I came to my senses and realized that I'd been mistaken. You're still saying you didn't see it? You keep saying that word, I don't think you know what it means! Inconceivable! If you're stubbornly sticking to that story, witness, then amend your testimony to explain exactly how you think your eyes deceived you. Of course, only too happy to oblige. I can't believe he's still not going to concede the point. Do we press the new statement? We press the new statement, right? Fact witness was a fellow grave robber at work.
Hold it!
A fellow grave robber? What are you talking about? Well, I wasn't the only one busy in the cemetery that night, you know. Other body snatchers were at work. John, thank you for the head pat. I appreciate you. Of course, when I saw one emerging from the hole he dug, my heart very nearly stopped. So that's the terrifying sight I actually saw, you see. I think I should head to bed. Good night, John. Can someone please tuck John in? Good night, sleep tight, don't let the bed bugs bite. Bye, John. You're claiming it was just another student on equally insalubrious business as yourself. Many of the medical students would wear metal masks to protect them from bacteria during dissections. I feel like that's a lie. Clearly, the fellow was using such a mask to protect his anonymity, wouldn't you say?
Attention.
Thank you, effing programmer, for tucking John in. Good night, John. I hope you have a good one. But there's more to the story, isn't there? The article goes on to say, in the next second, a gunshot rang out suddenly from behind. Thank you for the hydrate. The bullet pierced the resurrected man's chest, whose breath then stilled once more.
We might assume that the sexton discovered the miscreants at work, perhaps, and fired upon one of them.
If a gravedigger had shot someone in the cemetery, I think it might have been rather big news, my lord.
Ah, yes, well,
I can only assume it was an embellishment bolted on later by the reporter. What do you have to say about this? Madame Two Spells, don't take it out on Mr. Sholmes. Oh la la, pardon. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that in French. I was lost in my thoughts. Would it be fair to say that Mr. Drebber's last remark was significant to you in some way? I thought it was a little strange, that is all. How Monsieur Drebber could claim this now. If you don't mind me saying, madame, what are you talking about? Well, when I met you 10 years ago at your university dormitory, you recounted to me about your adventures in the cemetery, no? Including the gunshot. Stop! You might want to watch your tongue, you know.
Objection!
Have a care, Drebber. That's no way to speak to a lady. Grrr. Please, Madame Tuspels, carry on. Of course. According to what Monsieur Drebber told me at the time, he did hear a gunshot from behind him and the bullet hit the condemned man. I said nothing of the sort. No, you were very explicit about the details, about the mask that the figure was wearing, and the blood that splattered over you when he was shot.
Enough! Shut up, woman! You're making all this up!
That will do. Mr. Drebber.
Yes?
You refute the account just given by Madame Tuspels.
But we got the blood! We do have the blood! It's right on the camera! We do! I can prove it!
I have no recollection of ever saying those things.
Come on, do you really expect us to believe you?
Control yourself, counsel. I will not permit baseless accusations in my courtroom.
Right.
Under the circumstances, I think it best that you supplement your testimony with a statement to clarify your position on this witness.
Very well.
Ah! I got you! I got your ass!
Okay, hold on.
Objection!
I got your ass!
Mr. Drebber, do you remember this camera?
But that is the camera from that fateful night.
Yes, we borrowed it from the House of Horrors. It's the camera you took with you to the cemetery that night, Mr. Drebber. And is that supposed to be significant?
Get got!
This kind of camera is rarely seen in our homeland, so my colleague and I were keen to examine it closely. We noticed that the lens extends forward on the end of some bellows. Like this.
Hold it!
What's that? There, just on the bellows. Don't know if I missed one. No worries, Autumn. You can see in the second link. If you open up that second link, Autumn, in the pinned comment, you can see your like little progress report, and you will be able to see if you missed one. Because we are on like obviously the current day won't be available yet because I have to update it after stream. But any of those columns that have stamps, if you don't have a stamp similar to another person that has a stamp, you know you've missed a day. It looks like a dark red stain. That's right. It's a rather conspicuous mark here on the bellows, in fact.
Good Lord, are you suggesting?
Yes, my lord. It would appear to be a spatter of blood. Something that could be confirmed with a simple chemical test. Isn't that right, Dr. Scythe? It would be difficult to determine if it was human blood and not the blood of some animal. But yes, to test whether or not it's blood at all is simple enough. I propose that Madame Tuspel's testimony was correct, and that on the night in question 10 years ago, you were spattered with blood from the gunshot wound.
Well,
And that furthermore, you really did witness the condemned professor emerging from his tomb.
Ugh! Guards, welcome in! Why are you— what? No, you guys have to answer the question!
That's why I put the question in. What made you happy today? What made you happy? Answer the question. I would like to change my stamp answer. The overtime today enabled me to successfully gotcha. I see. Good for you. I'm very happy that you were able to gotcha successfully. There's simply no way you could have forgotten such a traumatic experience.
I'm typing the
Type the answer properly! Type it properly! I'ma cry! You guys are gonna make me cry. If you don't redeem it correctly, then you know what? New rule. If you don't answer the question, I'm not giving you the freaking stamp. This is important to me. You better answer the question that I asked you. I asked you to do like 30 seconds of work. I'm going to answer late since I pulled a fast one on the redeem. I'm happy that my team in IT were able to successfully learn how to make Cat5 cables correctly. Ooh, interesting. Wait, you can make Cat5 cables? You don't just like, I don't know, like order it off Amazon and be like, okay, like that's done. What stamp? Oh, Zero, if you look in the pinned comment, it has information about stamps for the month of November. I am doing like a little stamp card rally. So if you go to my streams in November and you redeem the like channel point, or you redeem the redeem that has channel points for daily stamp, you will get 1 stamp, and you can do 1 makeup stamp for every day that you miss. You can only redeem 1 makeup stamp a day, so you can't come here and redeem 5 makeup stamps in one stream. But if you get 18 stamps for the month of November, I will send a free holiday postcard. I'm awake and there's a cute dog ignoring me in my room. Oh, I see. That's very adorable. I promise to do it next time. Good. Good. You get the cable, but you have to terminate the cord. Put the ends on it. I'll tell you, I felt pain in my fingers, but today was also on another level. Ooh, that sounds difficult. Seeing your lovely self. Oh, thank you, Zero. I appreciate you. But I want to know, like, before stream, what made you happy, you know? Now I'm moving the goalpost. In other words, the only explanation is that you're trying to hide the fact that you saw the professor that night. But why? Why would he want to do that? Well, not for his own gain, it would seem. For whose then? Who could benefit? Mr. Drebber is obviously lying in order to protect somebody.
My goodness, he's shielding someone.
Yes, my lord, and clearly. It's someone who doesn't want the truth about the professor coming back to life to be exposed. I didn't really do anything today, so not much before this. I mean, it could be like what you ate for lunch, something that you saw that made you happy, maybe you read an email that made you happy. I don't know. Think of the small things. I hope that this month helps you practice recognizing the small things in life that bring you joy. Sleep! Me getting to nap now makes me happy. Good night. Good night, Chrono. Thank you. Someone tuck Chrono in. Gotta makeup stamps. Thank you, Sho, for tucking Chrono in.
Well, Council, who is it then? Who is this witness trying to protect by lying about what he saw that night? Dr. Scythe!
It's Dr. Scythe here.
Take that!
The obvious answer is Dr. Scythe.
Scythe? Whatever do you mean?
Double talk! We love it! Imagine if the convict who'd been sentenced to death was not, in fact, hello! Hot TV Tube! Xin chào bang! Welcome in! Hello, hello. Sorry, my Vietnamese is not that great, but I can read and speak very little, like a baby. Giống con bé. But thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Imagine if that was to come to light. What are you insinuating? And imagine if the convict in question was the country's most hated mass murderer. You have a baby? Okay. No, I said like a baby. Giống? I thought giống is like a baby. Con bé is just baby. So it's like, I speak Vietnamese like a baby. Em nói tiếng Việt giống con bé. No, she can only speak Vietnamese like a baby. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If it was the professor,
That would be an unprecedented scandal!
Objection!
This is beyond a joke. Need I point out that the dead cannot come back to life? What you're suggesting would mean that the execution never actually happened.
Yes, that's exactly what it would mean.
Objection!
I'm joking? Yeah. I don't know, joking about me having a baby is kind of weird. I don't have a baby. I think joking about anybody having a baby is kind of weird. Once a man is sent to the gallows, he hangs. No one could escape, not in Great Britain.
Objection!
But the fact is, there was a witness to the fact that the man did escape his hanging.
If that were really true, counsel, the implication of misconduct would not stop at the supervising coroner. It would taint the honor of the entire judiciary, from the ground up.
And it's exactly because of those monumental repercussions that Dr. Scythe would consent to any demand made of her by someone who threatened to expose her secret, even if that meant being complicit in a crime.
You mean?
I mean that Dr. Scythe wasn't collaborating in Mr. Drever's wicked scheme. She was coerced into collaborating in order to protect her decade-old secret. She switched the dead body of Mr. Asmund with the waxwork model and fabricated the autopsy report. Here comes the foot! The foot is out.
Lord Van Zeeks!
Those tables are strong, constantly banging against it. It's true. It does get a lot of... It does see a lot of banging. Sorry. Lord Van Zeeks! Pray forgive. Thank you for the hydrate. Hey, yo. Pray forgive my freshly filled hallowed chalice and a whole raft of other discourtesies now.
Goodness me!
It's just the sort of tall tale Londoners would enjoy, I grant you. An executed killer rising from the dead, a Scotland Yard cover-up, a conspiracy at the highest levels. So let me ask you one thing. What's that? If the condemned man really did emerge from his tomb that night only to be shot in the chest, who pulled the trigger and disposed of him forever? Great question. Who did pull the trigger? We don't know, right? We don't actually know? Well, I have no idea at the moment. We have too little information to work that out at present, I think. I couldn't agree more. The Old Bailey is no place for wild fantasies. Hello, Christian. Welcome in. How are you? Welcome, welcome, Raiders. Welcome. My name is Princess. I'm a variety VTuber here on Twitch. Today we are playing some great Ace Attorney Chronicles. What were you guys up to today? And let me do some Elden Ring. And as you know, I do shout outs, Christian, where I will give the streamer who came in a little bit of a feature. So if you would like, we can do like a little bit of your VOD from today, or we can do 3 completely random clip shout outs. Up to you, your choice. But welcome in. If you need to raid and run, please don't be afraid to get up and do what you need to for the night. We are, you know, going through some Ace Attorney tonight. Sorry, I have something on my neck. We're getting through Ace Attorney tonight and, you know, unraveling this mystery here. But yeah, welcome in. Hello, hello. Love watching my clips. It makes me look good at Elden Ring when I'm not. Okay, we can do clips. No problem. Let me mute the game. And then we can watch some clips. Wait, what happened? Oh, okay. I see. Ooh, starting off strong. I see, I see. Just murdering the boss. Thank you for the save check. I'll be sure to save again. What is this?
Here comes the cannonball!
Oh no, Hugo, take cover! All right, boys.
What
You
game is
won.
this?
They surrendered.
Surrender accepted!
Interesting. What game was that? Oh, more Elden Ring, of course. Plague Tale? That does not sound like a... That does not sound like a game that has a happy ending. But thank you so much for the raid in. Super duper appreciate you coming in with your community. I hope you have a good rest of your night, whether you spend it here or doing other things because of your after stream self-care. Do what you need to. Thank you, thank you. Let me just save. Yes, I'm saving again, just to be sure. Need to go to sleep. I'm not EP driving tomorrow. See you in another stream. No worries, FN Programmer. Good night. Thank you so much for coming in. Can someone please tuck FN Programmer in? Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Have a good lurk, Christian. Thank you again. Okay. And have you considered this, my learned Nipponese friend? Considered what? Do you realize just what a dangerous... Or, I thought that was not Van Zeek talking. Do you realize just what a dangerous endeavor it would be to coerce this woman into such criminal activity? It's tantamount to declaring war on the entire British police force and judiciary. Quite. Hard to imagine any sum of money being offered for research could warrant it.
To rely on some stage deception when so much is at stake would be madness.
Well, I suppose. And this was no petty crime either. The victim was murdered. A man who'd already invested money in the venture and would be instrumental in future profits too. Yes, I had no reason to kill Mr. Asman at all. Or are you forgetting that his death results in me receiving not a single penny? No, he did have motive because Asman was the reporter who drew the illustration, because we do have the signature. So that means he also wrote the article that basically made Drebber no longer able to practice science, right? The court is already aware of the contract between myself and the victim, no? There is the contract, that's very true. The motive for this case runs deep, though. I can feel it. Using threats to force the head of the forensic investigation team to cooperate is extreme, especially for a government grant he had no guarantee of receiving in the first place. If the research grant was the aim, taking Mr. Asman's life would have made no sense anyway, which means Mr. Drebber's motive wasn't money at all. He was just trying to kill Mr. Asman. But why? What was his motive then? We know! We have it! Your time is up, my learned friend. I'd say you have one last chance before the jury lose their patience with this charade. Let's see if you can back up your heady... Is it heady or heady? Proposal, shall we? How do you explain why this engineer would throw away all caution to the wind and threaten his own country? At this point, I'm not prepared to listen to more of this outlandish conjecture without proof. So, counsel, present your evidence. Heady, like head. Okay, I see. Thank you. Alright, who exactly was Mr. Asman to Drebber? There's a connection there that no one's seen yet. And I'm going to have to present 2 pieces of evidence to show what it is. 2? Okay, I know 1. Yes, my lord. The evidence that establishes a motive and explains why the witness wanted the victim dead is right here. I only have one piece of evidence.
Take that!
It's this newspaper article, my lord. That was written 10 years ago, and every detail has been examined already. What can it possibly tell us? That drivel should never have been written! It's typical gutter press nonsense that means nothing! Yes, on its own, it isn't particularly significant. However, when considered alongside another piece of evidence, it will completely explain your motive for wanting Mr. Asmund dead. What other evidence? Oh no! Save. Save. I don't know what the other piece of evidence is.
The evidence, which when cross-referenced with the newspaper article, establishes a motive for the deed.
It's this, right? Little metal plaque. Future scientific discovery. Is it this? This is a picture of him. Picture of the balloon. It's just the contract doesn't really give him any motive. What if it's this?
Take that!
No, it's not the science trophy. That's right, my lord, which is why I just presented another piece of evidence to complete it. Clearly, my learned friend only had half an education, and irony wasn't included on the syllabus. Let me put this in words of 0 syllables that even you will understand. Okay, hold on. So it's not that. Okay. Wait, I see it now. It's a play on syllabus and syllables. That's the irony. That was just a pun, Mr. Naruhodo. The irony was elsewhere. Oh. Okay, hold on. Second piece of evidence which remains elusive. Okay. Sorry, my lord. The evidence I need to supplement the article. I know it's right in front of my eyes. Counsel, you will present what evidence? Crawford, motive for the deed. Motive for the deed? I mean, he was a young man with his future ahead of him. And that was taken away. It can't be the contract, right?
Take that!
Oh, why is it the contract? Well, I'm so confused. What do you mean it's the contract? It's this contract, my lord. Mr. Drebber, this is the contract you signed with Mr. S. I just guessed. There's no way. Okay, hold on. Yes, that's right. The very document, in fact. That proves I had no reason to kill the man. No, I'm afraid not. What? There's something very significant that this newspaper... Oh, the signature! Oh! It's the common link that shows very clearly why you were determined to kill Mr. O.D. Asmund. Seems the defense has uncovered something the rest of us have missed. So, my learned friend, point out what these two pieces of evidence have in common. Like the link between the newspaper article and the contract right here.
Take that!
What these two pieces of evidence have in common is a signature.
A signature?
The signature on the illustration that accompanies the 10-year-old article and the signature on the contract belong to the same person. What? Ugh. As the court has heard, this illustration was drawn 10 years ago by the newspaper reporter who found Mr. Drebber and interviewed him about his ordeal. If you look closely, the reporter's signature can be seen in the bottom right corner of the drawing. And if you look at the contract here, which was signed between the witness and the victim last year, you can clearly see Mr. Asmon's signature at the bottom.
He's so dramatic. Just get to the point, Ryunosuke. It's true.
Let me see now. Good lord, yes, they're identical.
In short, the journalist who drew the illustration and wrote the article published about Mr. Drebber 10 years ago was a victim of this case, Mr. Odie Asmon.
Objection!
But explain to the court why. Why would that constitute a motive for the witness to murder Asmon? Well, if you think back, you'll remember that Mr. Drebber talked about that article in his testimony.
Grave robbing, you say?
Yes, exhuming fresh corpses to sell is reasonably lucrative. Quite beyond the pale. You would invite divine retribution. Yes, well, I think I suffered retribution enough. The Daily Circus eventually unearthed my name and put it in print. Cost me a great many headaches. In the end, I had to leave the university. That was the only paper with the bad grace to identify me unambiguously, I might add. Then I gave up on my dream of becoming a scientist, and it was all because of that newspaper article. At the time, you were a student at the University of London who dreamt of becoming a scientist. However, this single newspaper article changed your entire life.
So, Mr. Asmon used to be a newspaper journalist, did he?
He did, my lord. In fact, it's a widely held belief that Asmon managed to position himself at the heart of his criminal network, thanks to the many dubious connections he made during his time as a reporter. So you had to give up on your dream and leave university. You lost everything. Eventually, you found yourself working in the field of science, but only in the shadows. And all because of that article, written by Mr. Asmon. Enough! Stop this endless drivel about my life! What?
Explain yourself, Mr. Drebber.
Yes, it's true, I had to leave the university as a result of that article. But it was just a straw that broke the camel's back. What do you mean? Almost every student of science in the faculty was too poor to actually conduct any research. But they struggled on with their hypothesis anyways. We all did, only to have it taken away by vultures. Sooner or later, you knew your ideas would be stolen, patented by some wretch or other, after all.
Good gracious!
Making a name for yourself as a scientist in a climate like that was a miracle only a select few geniuses could ever hope to achieve. Personally, I wasn't one of those geniuses, so it was hardly a wrench. Being forced out of the university because of Lowgate was the best thing that could have happened to me.
Objection!
That's a lie. He was a bright young student with so many possibilities.
Do you genuinely believe that?
Of course I do.
Who's better placed to know whether or not I possess a talent for science
Than me. We have your statue.
Not statue, we have your, trophy! I'm sorry to say that your words don't ring true at all.
How dare you?
And I have evidence to prove it.
How are you in a position to say anything about me? I don't know you from Adam. What? I don't know you from Adam? Fine, if you think you have evidence, go ahead, show it. What could you have to disprove the idea that I was happy to leave university because I lacked talent? It had to be this.
Take that!
Do you remember this, Mr. Drebber? We found it at your workshop. Is that a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science? What exactly is this trophy, Council? It's the greatest honor that can be bestowed on a young scientist, my lord. There's no higher accolade. It recognizes emerging talent and promises a bright future. Good gracious! I don't know you from Adam. It's just a turn of phrase. There is no character named Adam. Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on? Your prospects for the future were excellent, weren't they, Mr. Drebber? Because even then, you were a genius in your field. But you lost everything. You had no more future. Your talents would go to waste. All as a result of this one newspaper article. Atra, welcome in. Thank you for the resubscribe. You know, I was just thinking about messaging you earlier today because I know you're gonna be out on your deployment soon. Hello, thank you for the hydrate and the head pat. I appreciate you. And the self-care. I appreciate you very, very much. Let me move this over. Thank you for the resubscribe. Oh, let me do a little stretch. Guys, if you haven't, please check out our friend Atra. He is an incredible content creator who streams on Twitch, and he does also a whole bunch of like scripts, most not safe for work, but some safe for work that I have voiced. Just the safe for work ones. I should clarify. I hope you are doing well. I am, Atra. Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having a good evening. I may be departing early. Got an email today that they may need me. Atra, you're like a superhero. You're like, oh my god, the dogs need me. Just the safe for work. Talk shows and podcasts. Oh, okay. Wait. Did you do your podcast early tonight? Is that why you're most recent? Because I know you've been streaming this week. I'm a superhero that needs to ask his boss for permission. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Interesting. How was today's podcast? What was the topic on again? It was like taking pictures for content creation, right? Or something like that. Was that the topic? I thought I saw something like that on. It's unfortunate that like your podcast happens most of the time when I'm doing D&D or like streaming. I would love to, you know, like actually catch it live. I don't know when you realized who Mr. Asmund was, but when it dawned on you that he was the same journalist who 10 years ago ruined your life, it's abundantly clear that you had no intention of forgiving the man. We talked a bit about dealing with leaked content, loving your body, etc., etc. Ooh, it's a heavy topic. I love Ace Attorney. Me too. It's been very fun. I'm very not smart and I hate connecting evidence, but the story is really good. The truth is, finally, he's going to fold. Uh-oh, what's happening? Dr. Scythe? Fine. Clearly, this has run its course now. What?
I admit it. All of it.
What? Oh, what are you doing?
It's exactly as the Japanese man said. I was coerced into going along with this man's plot to murder the victim, on the condition that he kept my dirty secret from 10 years ago.
No.
Same. Retry. Oh my gosh. I save and load so often, Atra. You don't even know. I save and reload so much.
Good lord! Dr. Scythe, do you realize what you're saying, woman?
It's all true. That day, when I arrived at the Crystal Tower and saw the birdcage, my heart nearly stopped beating. That memory from a decade ago that I'd done my best to bury deep inside myself. It was the professor again, staring me in the face. And then, before I had a chance to react, I noticed something else. There was a note tucked inside the model's jacket. Dr. Scythe, you will go along with my plan. From someone who knows the truth about what really happened that night 10 years ago. All the instructions were there in the note. Every detail was meticulously written out. I had no choice but to do what it said. I made the necessary alterations to the scene and fabricated the autopsy report as instructed. There was really no other choice. It had to be done to protect the judiciary. I can only apologize now. We cleared again, Easy! Congratulations on your re-clears, fan! Congrats!
Why on earth would you buckle now?
Dropped a paladin weapon? Boo! Does anyone play paladin in your group? Well, there's no point in trying to hide it anymore, is there? I would have done anything to stop it coming out, even collaborate in a murder. But the great lie about that execution 10 years ago has been exposed. Whatever happens, I'm finished. So then, Mr. Drebber, what do you say to that? Your accomplice has admitted everything. Surely it goes without saying. You admit your part in it too, then. I admit nothing. At all. Also, it's almost 9. He said he'll whip it out next week. Paladin? Okay. I do have to, like, hop out, because it is 9. I do have raid, I think. I'm like 98% sure I don't have raid, but I think I should head out anyways, because I have to do stuff this evening. So even if I don't have raid, I probably should head out for the night. So thank you everyone for coming in on M4S2 or Reclears first. I think we're still progging M4S because a lot of people have been out sick and stuff, and man, our raid nights are so cursed. Like, we've had people have their computer shut down on us, like storms shut down their internet. So it's been a lot. It's like something every week. So we're working on that for sure. Yeah, so let's raid into someone. Let's see who's in this category tonight. I don't know that they're a VTuber, so I think I will raid into, let's see here. Who is on right now? We could raid into Jin or into Julie's stream. Thanks for stream, of course. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. I really appreciate everyone coming in. Make sure, guys, last chance to redeem your stamps. Oh, we can go... Well, Pat is near the end of Final Fantasy 16. I don't know if I want to raid into that. Let's raid into KP. Because KP is playing Hades, and we've seen Hades before. So we're gonna go Capade. We're gonna go here, you guys. Alright, make sure you redeem your daily stamp before we end stream so that you can count towards today's stamp card. If you need to redeem a makeup, please redeem your makeup because, you know, after stream ends, you won't be able to redeem anything. I'm sorry, Duo, you said the face camera word that is not supposed to be said, so it is blocked. I'm sorry. But let's raid into our friend KP. As always, you guys, please be happy. Please be healthy, but most of all, please be kind. Be kind to others because you never know what a smile, hug, or hello can do for someone who's having a bad day. And be kind to yourselves. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Get up and stretch your legs every once in a while because if you don't, you might get an embolism. And then you'll die. And then I'll be really, really sad. And I think everybody else would be sad too. I want to say thank you to, let's see here, lots of people today. Thank you so much to Show for the resubscribe. LJ, thank you for the resubscribe. Ever, thank you for the resubscribe. DQ, thank you for the resubscribe. Tsuki, thank you for the raid in with your community. Jartrana, thank you for the follow. Hot TV Tube, thank you for the follow. Christian, thank you for the raid in. And Atra, thank you for the resubscribe. Hey, these ones, let's go. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I'm banned. Playing Stardew Valley with boyfriend made me happy today. Of course, you guys. I hope you guys have a good night. I will see you guys on Saturday. We're going to play the new Jump King map that I've been procrastinating on. So I will see you guys then. Alright, all, I love you. Please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. The raid will take you through. It'll count down. I'm not gonna raid early, so I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye. Bye-bye.